Hey everyone, and welcome back to the garage. It's been a while since my last video on the old GT6 back here, but I've got a lot done and also want to cover some new stuff that I'm going to be working on in this video. So let's get to it. So here she is in all of her glory, and I've gotten a lot done since the last time I took a video on the car. The doors have been fully assembled, including all the internals, the windows. They're both rolled down right now just to, save them from getting scratched up or damaged, but they're in their quarter vents, so we can open the door. The interior panels are on. The seats are both in and bolted down. Center console, still need to get a handle on the EBrake, which I'm going to custom make out of walnut, but still need to do that. Got some wires loose. As you can see, the dash is not yet installed, but the transmission tunnel's in. Yeah, so that's it from back there. I've got the rear glass installed. Front glass is not in yet, but rear glass is installed. If we open her up, you can see here we've got the back panels all in and bolted down, as well as the rear quarter covers, I think these are called. Also ended up putting in a little hatch right here, which is held down with magnets. And inside of that, I can access the battery if I need to do any maintenance in there without taking all these panels out, or the battery disconnect, so I can easily do that for shows or just want some storage at home. And then that closes right down. Looks pretty good. So yeah, she's coming along nice. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I got the badge and the stainless trim installed on the back too, as well as the backup camera, but you can't see that. Still need to finish off the bumper light. Probably just going to buy a new one of those, because instead of 3D printing a new one and everything else, I think I'm just going to be lazy and buy one. But the big thing we're going to be covering in this video is what these two wires right here are hanging down for. And that is, I'm going to 3D print and put in an LED third brake light. If you look up the statistics, rear end accidents, where someone rear ends someone else, pretty self-explanatory. They went down pretty drastically after the legislation was introduced and in effect that required cars to have third brake lights. Now I have LED bulbs in the car for the brake lights and turn signals and everything else, but I'm going to put this third brake light in here just for safety reasons. And so what I did is I bought these LED light bars on eBay. Sorry, not on eBay, this is on Amazon. Now this actually has two different brightness settings, so you could hook it up to your brakes and rear lights. I'm just going to hook it up to brakes. I'm not going to hook it up to the normal running lights right now, but we'll see if I need to change it in the future. So basically what I have to do is figure out a way to mount it right about here. That way, sorry, let me get up there. That way whenever the car is coming to a stop, this light will come on and it'll help just basically notify people that, hey, slow down, don't rear end my tiny little British car that I've put way too much time and money in. Should be pretty straightforward. I'm going to design something in CAD and print it up, and then we'll see how it goes. Hey, it's me, Quick Intermission here. You'll hear me talking a lot about how I 3D printed this third brake light, or how I was going to 3D print it. Ended up not doing that. I tried a few different things on the computer and some test prints, and I figured out that I could actually just make it way easier out of walnut that I had laying around. So you could do it 3D printed. For me, I ended up just making it out of wood because it was easier and a whole lot faster than the 3D printing. So please ignore those references. I think most of the stuff's still applicable as far as the design goes, but no 3D printing, all woodwork and lots of sawdust. I hung the light bar up here with some masking tape real quick just to see how high I could get it, how close to the top here, and still be able to see it whenever you close the rear hatch. You probably can't see it, but I mean, I can get it pretty much right up there. So what I think I'm going to do is print out a backing plate that is the width of this light and pretty much the same shape, and then it's just going to have two tabs that come up probably from somewhere about a third away from each end, and then I'll take those and I can screw them directly into this plastic piece that holds up the light as well as the hinge, and covers the hinges. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the computer and design that, and then we'll get it printing. Here you go. So here's where we ended up on the third brake light. You can kind of see the profile of it here. I gave up on the 3D printing idea because I quickly figured out that I couldn't just have it hanging from the back. I needed to have it enclosed. That way the light reflecting off the rear glass wouldn't bounce and completely, you know, saturate the cabin with red light, because this thing's pretty bright. So what I did, I actually took a piece of walnut. I think it was 1 inch by 12 inch walnut that I had laying around, and I bored that out all the way across and made it fit that light in there really well. Then I covered I painted the whole thing flat black. I covered the inside with black vinyl, and then covered the outside with the kind of milk chocolate grained vinyl that is being used in the rest of the car, for example, right there on the center console. So yeah, then I got some clear Gorilla Tape, put that on the top, and now I'm going to stick it to the rear window, see how it looks. So here we go. Here's the brakes. Got my wife in the car pressing them down. I don't have them hardwired yet. The wires are just hanging down, but here's from directly behind the car, and you can see it lights up really well, and there's very little reflection in the car. So yeah, really happy with how that turned out. Here's another wood thing I just finished making for the car. This is out of walnut as well, to match the rest of the wood that I'm putting in the car. And so you can see this is pretty straightforward. It's just a e-brake handle, and that just slides on there really snug, and I think fits really well. I laid it out specifically for my hand, so it's got just the right spacing and everything. So I will now stain that in dark walnut, just to make it, you know, look a little nicer, and then put a bunch of lacquer on it, and that'll be another part of the car done. You can buy e-brake handles for these for like 10 bucks, but then I would have had to try to modify it to, you know, fit the look of the car, since I went with the carpet that's a custom carpet, custom vinyl, custom leather, everything else. So just decided to make this myself as well, and I think it turned out pretty well. I might actually do the same thing with the shift knob. This is a standard handle for an M12 shift knob. I have a Triumph one. I'm going to put it on here, see how it looks, but if I don't like it, I'll probably just turn one out of walnut as well. Here's the final handle. You can see I got it stained, so it's dark walnut, and got a few coats of shellac on there, so it's nice and shiny and smooth as well. Just sanded it down and polished it up a little bit. So that guy should now slide on there. Yeah, perfect. It's made to be a tight fit, so that's not going to go anywhere. And yeah, that's really cool. I'm really happy with it. You can also see here that I got the Triumph knob. I had mentioned that I got this from Rimmer Brothers a long time ago. It's made for the stock car. It's not made for this M12 thread, so I drilled that out and retapped it, and it's really nice. So I'm really happy with the way this feels, and yeah, we'll try that for a while, and I can always switch to something else if I want to. It's a little dark in here, so it may be hard to see. But next on my list of things to make is the parcel shelf. It is a little cubby, basically, that goes right here, and helps, basically it's just for storing stuff. I'll probably keep, you know, stuff like insurance paperwork or whatever in there. The stock one that comes with the car wouldn't really fit because of all the stuff that I have crammed in there, the electronics, as well as modifying the firewall. So I'm just going to take the opportunity to build my own, probably just out of some thin steel, and get everything welded together. So yeah, gonna start working on that. A little bit of progress here. You can see I have the bumpers or knee guards or pads, whatever you want to call these guys, up here and the dash temporarily mounted. That way I can know where the parcel shelf needs to go up to. I also have this bottom guard, which is not recovered in the same vinyl yet, but this just temporarily screwed in down there so I can see where the bottom of the parcel shelf goes. And now I just need to build out some templates showing me how the metal work and needs to go back and around. That way I can get everything squared up in here. I'll probably go grab some poster board. I think that'd be the best. I can use the poster board to give me a good idea of where I need the metal at and what shape it needs to be. And once I get it all done in poster board, then I can get it cut out in steel and have everything put together. So yeah, go grab some of that. Here's what we get after about 30 minutes of playing kindergartner and cutting and taping stuff together. I used some aluminum TIG rod just to help keep it in place, because obviously it's a little floppy being that it's all poster board. But yeah, this is good. It fits into the car really well. I can get it out pretty easily and in pretty easily. So now it's just a matter of getting everything cut out of metal and getting it all riveted together. So I'm gonna work on that. Here's the finished product after a few hours of working on it. It actually didn't take that long. I just did it over the course of a couple of days because I got interrupted with other projects. You see the top here is this copper colored. That's because I ran out of normal aluminum, so I had to use just basically copper colored aluminum. But yeah, this guy's pretty sturdy, got a lot of rivets in it. This back bracket is just where it mounts into the car on the back side to help keep it from falling down, and that's held in by a few rivets as well. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. Now I'm going to paint the outside of it black and then carpet the inside of it, and it'll be ready to go on the car. Here we are, all finished. So the kind of little shelf over here is all done. I got it carpeted, screwed in, and I got the front pad here recovered in the vinyl that will match the dash and everything. As you can see, the dash isn't really connected right now. It's just kind of set in place so I could get a good idea of how I was going to do this little cubby. But yeah, now I got that in. Got a matching steering wheel, obviously matching e-brake handle and shift knob. So yeah, we got pretty much dark walnut everywhere, and I'm really happy with it. I think that's going to be it for this video. Next video, I'm hoping to get this guy out on the road for a little test drive and start doing some shakedown before I go get it inspected. So thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.